Hi, John Bills here. Today I'm going to be talking about smoking and why you need to quit immediately. For every pack of cigarettes bought, $11 is spent toward medical care. Smoking is the most legally harmful thing we can do to our bodies and to our wallets. The process of smoking is bad in itself. Allowing smoke into your body, it's bad for your circulation. This will cause you bad back problems as well as bad joint problems. But just the back and the joint aren't all, it also affects your heart. Smoking is the #1 cause of heart attack and stroke. Every 8 seconds, someone dies from smoking. So by the time this speech is over 60 people will have died from smoking or smoking-related diseases. Got that information from an article that I read at the Associated Content magazine written in 2008 by Jay Jayashank. When it comes to smoking, though, the main reason that people smoke is the nicotine. It's not necessarily to look cool. Obviously, it's not something cheap, but it is very physically addictive. But nicotine isn't the main reason that you might get a heart attack or stroke. Mostly that comes from the tar within cigarettes. The tar in cigarettes contains over 4,000 chemicals. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported that 4,000 chemicals, and 60 of those cause cancer. I've got a special diagram here that I'll show you, and it shows the different carcinogens and things that you'll find in cigarettes. Okay, I've got a butane right here. It's basically lighter fluid. Okay, we've got cadmium, which is an element you find in batteries. Candle wax. We've got over here, we've got a solution called toluene. That's an industrial solvent. Okay, here's nicotine again. If you didn't know, nicotine is also found in insecticides or bug killers. Ammonia, which is used as toilet cleaner. We've got some paint. There are many elements in paint that you'll find in cigarettes and the cigarette filters themselves. Methanol, or basically rocket fuel. Okay, carbon monoxide. Everyone knows the effects carbon monoxide can have on you. Arsenic, or just straight poison. We also have methanol, which is the same as sewer gas. And last but not least, that I'll mention today is the acetic acid or vinegar. All of these things are in cigarettes, and these are just few of the 4,000 chemicals that you'll find in each cigarette. Okay, so obviously something that is going to be harmful to your body. Having said that, I'll let you know, and if it's not obvious already, half of all smokers will die from smoke-related diseases. Smoking is a problem. Just as I mentioned physically, all the different heart attacks, strokes, diseases, physical problems that you'll get from smoking. But it's not only a problem physically, but also financially. Each of us pay for smoking, whether we smoke or not. Smoking causes $200 billion a year in health-related problems or incidents. That was done by a report in the American Heart Association. They put that in the New York Times just earlier this year. And I want to reiterate one thing that I said here at the beginning of the speech. I just want to make sure you realize this, that for every pack of cigarettes that's purchased, every single pack, $11 goes toward medical expenses for the smoker. All the way from the time someone has a heart attack to the ambulance coming, picking them up, taking them to the hospital. Hospital care, medication afterwards. These are all expenses that we pay for every day, one way or another. Okay, and those are the reasons, the problems with smoking, both physically and financially. But just because you smoke now doesn't mean you always have to. You can quit anytime you want to. There are more people now than there have ever been that can help you. There's going to be more people who want to help you stop smoking than want to help you to start smoking. Okay, especially now there's more communication, more ways to get in touch with anyone now than there have ever been. We've got radio, TV, the internet, newspapers, magazines. There are so many avenues of help out there if you really want to stop. First thing you might want to try is just stopping. Cold turkey by yourself. Just, wake up one day, hey, I'm done. I'm not smoking anymore. Sometimes that can be done, sometimes it can't. Smoking's very hard, and sometimes it's so hard physically that you can't stop by yourself. What you might want to try and do is get a hobby. Maybe you start doing something you've never done that you've always been interested in. You could try to do something that you used to do, maybe when you were growing up, that you don't do anymore, that you've always had fun with. As far as other ways to stop, you might want to try, go out and get some gum or some candy, something to keep in your mouth so you don't have to have a cigarette in there. Try and stay orally fixated. You need some way sometimes to suppress that nicotine. You can buy gum to suppress the nicotine and ease you off until you don't need to smoke anymore. Groups, find a group, a help group. Again, back to communication. There are more ways than ever to get help. Find a group that's willing to help you. Your friends and your family, anybody. Just stick with someone who doesn't smoke, who wants to help, and they won't allow you to. And I know all that's easier said than done. I could sit up here and preach and go on and on and on. But it's going to be a lot easier than just me standing up here at this podium and telling you, hey, this is how it is. You're going to have to make a change mentally in order to change physically. And I know, because I did it before. I smoked several years ago, and I don't anymore. And I honestly can't remember the last time I did smoke. And I can say I won't ever smoke again. I can honestly say I don't think I will ever smoke a cigarette for the rest of my life. And I'm okay with that. And I can, so I know you can. Okay? Just read a report from the American Cancer Society. It was actually written in 2008, but I just read it, telling us about, once you do quit, what's going to happen? What's the practicality of quitting? The first being that, after 3 months you start to get your circulation, respiratory problems back in order. Your circulation starts coming back in full effect. After a year, your heart, the chance of a heart attack is cut in half. And then within 5 years, the chance of stroke is cut in half. Okay, so this isn't something that's going to happen overnight, but if you want to change, you're going to have to start now. Okay, because it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, so just to hit the main points again, everyone understands that there is a problem with smoking, not only physically but financially. Okay, you know how to stop. Okay, you know how to stop, and there's help if you don't. And then last but not least, no one has a reason to continue. There's no reason to keep smoking. Okay, there's no good that can come from it. So really, after saying that, having said that, if you don't want to stop for yourself, stop for your friends and your family and their future. Thank you.